How's it going, guys? It's Mouseball, and this is the Attack Mouse Nation, and I'm here with my friend, and why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, my name is Daniel. I don't have my own YouTube channel, but I might be starting one with my own Mustang GT that I own. However, for today, I'm just here to get my thoughts on this ABARTH, see what it's all about. I've never been in an Italian car before, so I'm curious how it all goes.
Now, as you guys know, this car is very affordable. On the used market's around $10,000, so just about anybody can get their hands on one. But obviously, Daniel has a Mustang GT with the Coyote 5-liter, making anywhere from 425 to 450 horsepower max.
Yes, sir.
So now, obviously, you know, we're talking about a big dip in power from 450 to just under 180. So we're gonna see what Daniel's thoughts are on this little car, how it feels, and obviously take it to a spot where he can actually get an idea of what it's all about. I mean, so far Daniel likes the exhaust note, which is a good thing, because, you know, when you have a Mustang, well,
that's kind of what you get a Mustang
for. Is the actual exhaust note
actual
and how it sounds.
But I have to say, I mean, I'm loving the sound of it. I understand it basically comes straight pipe from the factory, which I think is pretty cool. And I also love the turbo sounds. My car is naturally aspirated, so no turbos, no supercharger, none of that. But I love the sound of turbochargers. Yeah,
so now we're up to temperature, and one of the reasons why this car has such audible, you know, atmosphere when it comes down to how it performs is because it's been modified. Obviously, me and Mama Mouse really put the brakes to this car when it comes to modifications, and we're going to downshift in a second and get into it. Of its shape, so it is kind of loud, but we're going to roll up the windows so that way you can hear us better. Obviously, the window controls are a bit quirky for this car.
Yeah, that's on the center console, which I don't know how I really feel about that. Maybe I'm just the old school American car guy, but mine, I'm used to it being on the door dash.
Yeah, no, exactly. And
so very quirky.
Obviously, you know, a car like this has a lot of personality because of those kinds of quirks, but already he got to feel the acceleration, which is not going to be anywhere near his Mustang, obviously.
It still had quite a bit of kick to it, though.
It's pretty quick, and obviously there's a lot of noise accompanying that. So now we're going to enter the Mouseball loop, and this is where he'll be able to actually see the car shine. And we're going to get into some braking and lower down our windows. And he's still reaching for the controls on the side of the door.
Still reaching for it.
So now that we're slowing down, and we're gonna just hit into second, and we're gonna accelerate right in there. Couple of pace cars in front of us, so
I gotta say that was incredibly fun. I know in my Mustang that would be considerably more challenging to do, just because I'm rear-wheel drive and I have just a crazy amount of power. But
exactly.
Well, man, this thing can take corners.
It's the Mustang can definitely handle, that's for sure. It's designed to handle, but the thing is that, again, it takes more of a, you know, hardened driver, somebody who's been on the track, somebody who understands the driving dynamics of rear-wheel drive, and obviously understands the power delivery of a much larger engine than this little 89 cubic inch micro mite. So without a doubt, this car is a little bit easier to go faster in, simply because you're less likely to die in it.
That's a good way of putting it.
But believe it or not, a Mustang with proper, tires, with a nice set of rims, great brakes, and obviously with the, suspension tuned up and dynamically ready to go, with the proper driver behind the wheel, it can't be stopped. It'll run with M3s, M4s, it'll run with anything that Europe can foist at it. So without a doubt, this is just another opportunity to show Daniel, what the small car world has to offer.
Yeah, I'm still pretty new into the car world in general. I kind of just picked up my Mustang just because I wanted something that was cheap and fast. But yeah, I mean, so far I'm loving this car.
Now through here, this is probably the most dangerous part of the loop, and it's even really dangerous for this particular car as well because of how tight the apex is coming up. But this will give us a good amount of time to accelerate and get to where we want to go. Obviously we'll want to be careful because you don't know what's up ahead.
I love the sound of the turbos.
There's a pop. And we just had to blow by that Cadillac. Little heel and toe there. Now again, this is very dangerous simply because there's an expansion joint and you'll feel it right here. And this is where the car can actually get airborne and the suspension can get very upset, and if you haven't been through this enough times, you can crash. And somebody has already. They crashed a Toyota Echo on here and they literally had to run a tow truck up to get it off. So this is kind of a short experiment to kind of show Daniel, what the small car offerings are like. This is one of the more charismatic offerings, obviously. This has more charisma than a Honda Civic.
Definitely.
A lot more than a Toyota Corolla or pretty much anything on the market that is way above $20,000. So the thing is that, yeah, right now, he might not have, the money for a smaller car, but if he were looking for a daily driver, this could honestly make the list. That, Mini Cooper, and a couple of other, small car offerings that you could just actually daily while he turns his Mustang into an absolute track monster.
Oh yeah. And you said this is 10,000?
Yeah, 10,000 used.
That's incredible.
Plus, there's a great community behind it. We do lots of rallies. We do lots of events. Obviously, we're doing Cars and Coffee tomorrow. So, I mean, this was just a great way to, get the brand new oil cycled up inside the engine and, give Daniel a little bit of a, experience with this car. I mean, obviously, having pace cars in front of us, I really couldn't go as quickly as I wanted.
Yeah, we still went decently quick, though.
Yeah, I mean, we won't disclose how fast we were going, that's for sure. Because, that only happens in Mexico. But, regardless, guys, please look forward to Daniel's new YouTube channel. We haven't come up with a name for it quite yet, and you'll see plenty more collaborations, for his channel and mine, most likely because, he gets a lot of his service work done with us. And, we want to make sure we keep his Mustang in tip-top condition. And he's got a lot of really neat mods coming down the pipeline for his beautiful, almost obsidian black Mustang. I mean, it's, so deep black. It's jet black.
Yep.
And obviously,
the black rims.
yeah, and he's got black rims on it, but he's got brand new Shelby rims coming for it. I believe 19 inches in diameter.
Yep.
He's going to be doing the 275 section with tires. You know, that should harness some of that power, and already he's got an exhaust on it. And he's got the Borla Attack Type S, which is the perfect balance between loud and melodious tone. To me, that's probably one of the best exhausts you can get for the Mustang. Unfortunately, as a Corsa fan, the Mustang does not sound good with Corsa, and as far as I'm concerned, the Borla Attack is the closest thing you're going to get to the sound of a GT350 Mustang.
Yep.
So, I mean, we'll probably go for a quick ride in Daniel's Mustang and get a little footage of him driving that, and I'll give you my thoughts on that car. Obviously, if we do that video, Daniel's going to have to be very careful how he drives, because you know, there are cops all over the place, and we definitely don't want him to get in any trouble. So we're gonna go ahead and end the ride here. But guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay wealthy, and remember, if you drive a Mustang, the switches are not on the side of the door. Take it easy, guys. Mouseball out.